year 2013 has been a significant landmark in Indian Navy's history. The P-8Is were inducted in the Indian Navy. The INS Vikramaditya is about to be inducted in the Navy shortly. Also, the INS Arihant, India's first nuclear-powered submarine, its reactor went critical. Also, the Navy's communication satellite, Navy's own communication satellite went operational. All in all, a very good year, except for one tragic incident of INS Sindhu Rakshak, the submarine which caught fire in Mumbai, and then had this loss of nearly 18 lives of the Navy people on INS Sindhu Rakshak. But what does the future hold? Let's ask the man himself. Naval Chief, the Indian Navy Chief Admiral D.K. Joshi is with us. He is consented to meet us on INS Jalashwa, Indian Navy's second biggest ship at the moment, and we are off the east coast near Visakhapatnam. Admiral Joshi, thank you very much for giving us this time.
Yes, so
you know, this is your one of the bigger assets in east coast, and looking at this ship, one feels so confident about the humanitarian assistance and disaster relief that this ship does. But how do you see the Navy's overall picture, the current status, and going down 5 years from now?
Well, you quite summed it up yourself. As outlined in our Maritime Capabilities Perspective Plan, which really is the growth roadmap for our capabilities. Many of these inductions are now poised for realization. Very soon, Jalashwa is going to become the third largest ship from being the second currently.
Yes.
16th we are inducting, commissioning Vikramaditya in Russia.
That's right.
So all these acquisitions and procurements are proceeding apace. Majority of them are actually force multipliers. The P-8I Boeing that you referred to is going to be here tomorrow when we induct the AJT Hawk trainers formally into the Navy.
Right.
We would also have the first P-8I that has already arrived and is in the process of being accepted. Various acceptance trials are in progress. And by end of the year, we'll have 3 of them.
Right.
The others follow in quick order next year. That brings into this region a capability that has not existed before.
Right.
It's a brand new aircraft, apart from the platform, which in any case is a proven Boeing, aircraft. The fit has been released concurrently to what the US Navy has. It's really so. Therefore, the capabilities that are coming into our hands are absolutely state of the art. The submarine projects, Arihant, you mentioned,
right.
Criticality was achieved in the month of August.
Right.
I spent the entire forenoon there.
Okay.
The entire crew, the DAE teams, the BARC teams, the DRDO teams, our own ATV project personnel,
Right.
as also industry people. Everyone is upbeat, full of dynamism, and I think very, very, in a very short order, we would again be able to put her out for her sea trials and commission her towards the end of next year.
A lot of people talk about the Indian Navy now being not just the Indian Navy for the Indian Ocean region, but for Indo-Pacific, talking about Western Pacific and going right up to the coast of Africa. Do you see the Indian Navy's role expanding in the coming, decade or so?
Well, the Navy has great reach and sustenance at that reach. So therefore, we can reach out in distant waters and sustain ourselves, bring our combat potential to bear should it be so required in very distant waters. Now, where would that tasking be would really be a function of national interest.
Yes.
Whereabouts is it that our national interests are spread? You are as aware of them as I am, and therefore I would not reiterate them.
Right.
And therefore, for what tasking and into what areas the Navy is required to be committed is a question for the government to determine.
Right.
But the navies are meant to be committed to safeguard the sovereign national interest in the maritime domain, and we have the capability. and all the capabilities being inducted are tailored in that direction as the spread would show you.
I mean, I keep coming back to the future of Indian Navy in that sense. Technologically, Indian Navy has always been a step ahead of most of the other navies in the region, and the long tradition of having at least an aircraft carrier. Do you foresee yourself as doing 2 carrier battle groups in the next 2-3 years when the IAC is inducted also?
Well, for our needs, we have long felt that at least 2 carriers operational, one on each seaboard, one on the western seaboard and one on the eastern seaboard, is a must. With the commissioning of Vikramaditya, we would have 2 carriers, but Virat, as you know, is getting a little long in the tooth. She's eminently capable of performing the role that she's been designed for. But as you extend the service life of a ship, and we actually have extended her life quite a bit, it becomes something like maintaining a vintage car. You spend a lot of money to keep it going. Yeah, and therefore we would plan to keep her going till the time we are able to induct IAC-1, which got a bit delayed but is now on track, and we should see her commencing her sea trial somewhere around 2017, and therefore at that time we'll have 2 brand new carriers, and we'll be able to provide adequate coverage on both our seaboards.
Yeah, as we pass near one of your 2 submarines alongside, there's this concern that our submarines are depleted, the submarine strength, the conventional submarine strength. How do you plan to overcome the shortage or the shortcoming?
Yeah, submarine force levels, I agree with you, are under strain, and essentially it is so because our Project 75 got a bit delayed. Indigenous construction with foreign collaboration. Right. But that again, the issues that had caused the delays are now behind us. The production is in full swing. And again, commencing 2016-17 onwards, we should have our first boat online. And we have been assured by both DCNS and MDL that the subsequent ones, they will try and compress the timelines for delivery so that the last boat actually fructifies around the time that she was envisaged.
The indigenous construction, shipbuilding has been something that the Navy should be proud about, although delays are there. And I think among the 2 services, the Navy is indigenized faster than anybody else in that in real sense. So how do you see the indigenous shipbuilding industry coping up with the demands that you have?
No, I would say that the Indian shipbuilding industry is coping up in a most admirable fashion, both the public sector, which really has had the lead in this regard, but also the private sector, which has chipped in and has come up very, very rapidly. And as on date, out of 47 orders that we have for ship construction and submarine construction, we are very proud of the fact that 46 are actually being built in Indian shipyards, public sector and private sector. The only ship that is not being built is Vikramaditya, which we commissioned on the 16th.
Right. Talking about Sindhu Rakshak's accident, I mean, it was a tragic accident. We all feel about it. Any way forward? Have you drawn any lessons from there? What is the way forward?
It of course was a tragedy, something that shouldn't have happened. But insofar as lessons to be learnt are concerned, would happen only after we have concluded the inquiry process, right? Which is now awaiting really the floating of the boat, which has still not happened because the last bit of material, forensic evidence would be found inside the boat. As of now, we had tendered out 5 globally acknowledged salvage firms. They have all submitted their bids. Currently, as we speak, the technical evaluation of their bids is going on. I am told that it will be completed by Thursday or Friday, end of this week. Commencing Monday, we'll open their commercial bids. That's a short process. You'll know who the L1 or L2 are. And these are really renowned names. One of them actually was involved in lifting, I won't name the submarine, but the submarine that had sunk about a decade ago. And therefore, they would thereafter, whosoever wins the contract, and it has to be again done in a very transparent fashion, would move the hardware and get on with it. And once we are able to lift the submarine, and the Board of Inquiry would then be able to complete its proceedings
Oh, I see.
and point out at what went and
Immediately after the accident, I think you all had this thing. Basically, you had, all your submarines were checked for the similar kind of, if there are any problems. Were any
nothing
problems
came
found
on.
in-
This is a standard procedure. Moment you have an accident on an aircraft or a ship or a submarine, what you order is something that is called a safety stand down.
Right.
That means for a while you subject everyone to a 100% safety check.
Correct.
As per your SOPs and as per your checklists.
That's right.
To see that has something, so nothing in that has come out.